Two little
we're here.
Still don't know how to do it.
It's like scroll. You would think after 110 shows, scroll down. There it is. Okay. Hi, I'm James Wesley. This is my husband,
Seth
Radetsky. You don't know your last name?
Your first husband. Hi, everybody.
Second, but who's counting?
It's all good.
That's not what this is about today.
No, not at all.
Welcome to Stars in the House.
Special edition.
Special edition, not teen edition, special edition.
Yes, we are raising money for something that we raise money for every year. This amazing organization called, oh my God, finally someone likes our lighting. Thank you.
Thank you. It took us only 110 shows.
We're raising money for You Gotta Believe. And we're going to tell you all about it. But basically, it's to help older foster youth find loving families. We'll tell you a lot about it. More importantly, people are asking because you were missing this afternoon.
That's right. Oh, I love all of our regular viewers. The Goldie, knock on wood, is good. We went to not one, but two different pet stores today and bought all sorts of stuff.
With all social distancing, by the way.
Also, yes, right. We ordered ahead of time. They put it in the trunk, and that was all good. So hopefully Goldie will be...
Yeah, our goldfish is really sick. That's why James going to be there.
So I wasn't here this afternoon.
Okay, we've got such... We normally don't have a million notes, but this show is so jam-packed.
And this is definitely a special edition. So this is a 90-minute if we're tight and got it down. Which the nice thing is we've been involved with You Gotta Believe since 2015. So we just finished our 6th annual concert with them in February, right before all of this hit. We were really fortunate, and Lori Metcalf was there. She adopted out of foster care, and she just started rehearsals for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf at the time. And it was a great event at the Town Hall in New York. And we're here again to support You Gotta Believe because they are the only foster care organization in New York City. And New York City is a big city in all of New York that specializes, the only one that specializes in finding older youth and young adults homes, forever families.
Forever families. Because once a kid hits 8 years old, they're considered special needs because parents basically are like, I want a baby. And if a kid is older and doesn't have a family, they must have problems. And it's more like the kid's parents have problems because courts try to keep kids together with families as long as they can. And finally, when the courts are like, beyond these parents can't raise this kid for whatever reason it is, it takes a long time. So finally, the kid is emancipated. They go through every single relative to find out if someone will help the kid. No relatives are available. Finally, the kid is available for adoption or just a family.
Right. And for You Gotta Believe, there's a lot of great services out there. You hear, Seth, turn off your notifications. You hear a lot about services, mentorships, and like there's a program that was just in the newspaper in the New York Times about this young woman, Destiny, who will be aging out of foster care next month. And
aging out of foster care means that the city is like, we're done. We don't have
the system.
Yeah, the system. We don't have to pay for your food anymore. Hopefully you've learned some skills. You're on your own.
Right, if you age out. And so, and that's what You Gotta Believe is about, is that no one ages out, no matter how old you are. And so this young woman, Destiny, you can look at New York Times foster care, Destiny, I'm sure you'll find her story. And it is about why family is so important, because she got her life together after a lot of very trying circumstances. And she was enrolled and attending classes at the Borough of Manhattan Community College, BMCC.
And she'd be considered a success story because, look, she's in college.
She was set up in Dorm, a great project to help foster youth, as it were, in dorms. And because of the pandemic, she no longer
the dorm closed. So then what happens? She doesn't have a family.
And if you think about it, and Seth and I were talking about this the other day, if you think about it, one story after another about young people, what are they doing right now? They've gone home from college, or they had just started a job. They're back home. They've moved in because they can't afford. One of them, their roommate has lost a job, and so they move back in with their family. And that's the difference between family and a mentor. As well-meaning as a mentor is, there is no substitute for family, especially as we all know in times of crisis like we are in right now. That's when you learn I guess the truth sort of comes out about everything. And the truth about mentorship is it is not enough. And that's where You Gotta Believe comes in.
Right. It's helpful, but people need people need a base that they know will not leave them, someone that's always going to be there for them. And that's what You Gotta Believe does. They give them a family that says, I will always be there for you. And a mentor says, I will help you, but I got my own problems,
And speaking of family members or family that believe that the importance of permanence, we've got one right over here.
Are you walking towards the window?
I don't, she's walking towards the window. And,
what should I do?
And this is our kid,
over.
Julie.
I'll sit on your
that
chair.
Probably most of you know by now if she doesn't fall.
Hey, guys.
So, Julie, who the hell are you?
My name is Julie Wesley, and I'm the
By the
daughter.
way, just so you know, that's not permanent.
Oh, no, this is a
She
fake
drew that on.
tattoo.
She just fooled David Katz.
It's been a prank I've been doing on TikTok, blah, 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 but it's not
That's
real.
hilarious.
It was for me. But all right, I'm Julie Wesley, Julie Rudetsky Wesley now. This is my father, and this is my father. These are my family, and I just wanted, recently, because I was adopted by him when I was around 5 years old. I had lived with him, and when I turned 6, he met Seth.
Because she's biologically my niece.
I'm his niece. Well, you're my dad.
That's why I said
Biologically.
Yeah.
Biologically.
But, after I met Seth when I was young, I considered him my father for a very long time. And finally, because, we're both ADHD, you finally decided to adopt me.
Finally got around to it.
Yeah.
And she's 19, and everyone's like, and a lot of people go like, what does it matter now you're 19? Why is it important to be adopted? And Julie, why is it important to be adopted? You are so old. What's happening?
It is very hard to tell somebody who has never been adopted what it's like to be adopted by somebody, but it means the world. It honestly means the world to me because he's been in my life so long, and he's been nothing but sweet and kind and supportive of my other dad and me, of all of my dreams, and it makes me feel very blessed and happy that somebody cared enough to adopt me even when I'm 19. I'm old, and I am a troublemaker.
I was going to say, as your father, wipe off that tattoo. Wow, it's making me crazy. So now that you're
you opened yourself up for that.
Start the wiping.
Thank you, Julie. Now,
really amazing.
Actually, when Julie
you,
came,
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Family hug.
And that's the end of the show.
All
It's
right.
a broadcast.
Good
Thank you
luck
very
with
much.
the rest of the show.
Thanks,
It's going to be
Jules.
amazing.
Thank you, Julie.
Donate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, that's the whole point, too. Yes, we want people to learn this lesson.
And then we're going to bring on our first guest.
Tonight, when you go to Stars in the House, the donation will go to You Gotta Believe.
You know what, Seth? I'm actually not sure.
I'll look right now.
But you can go to yougottobelieve.org.
Oh, you know what?
Or
just do
just
that.
follow that. That's the easiest. Go
You know what?
to yougottobelieve.org.
YouGottaBelieve.org.
And tonight, first time on Stars in the House, you
Oh my
can
God,
actually
you can text.
donate, and there's the phone number right there.
And
that's it.
It's very helpful. And we'll talk about what You Gotta Believe does.
Speaking of adopting adopting an older child,
yes,
is our first guest who has been with us before.
Please welcome Mrs. Alec Mapa.
Thank you. Hold for applause. Oh, stop. Oh, come on. Listen.
Oh, they stopped.
I'm just doing what any decent human being would do. I'm finally on Stars in the House. You guys have been doing this since the quarantine began, and I thought, well, they have to have me on sometime. I mean, I know I haven't sung in a Broadway musical, but I was in a Broadway play at one time that won a Tony Award. I know I'm not like B.D. Wong or Jonathan Pryce or Mickey Rooney or some other famous Japanese person, but I've made a contribution in my own way.
I thought you stopped that. I thought that's another intervention. Alec Mapa, brilliant comedian, and you got wrangled into this because you came on the Rosie O'Donnell cruise where I was performing. You were there with your husband, and you were there as a childless couple, right? Because your womb is barren. So what happened?
We were barren. Our room was barren. I was not a Mrs. Mapa yet. Here's what happened. Before we went on that cruise, all our gay friends said, "Oh, girl, don't go on that cruise with the lesbians and that kid. They're gonna brainwash you, girl. You're gonna leave with a baby." And I was like, "Do they give them out at the gift shop? What is happening?" So my husband and I attended every single seminar on foster adoption while we were on that cruise. And on one of the cruises, they gave us the info. They said at any one given time, there's 400,000 kids in the foster care system. 100,000 of those kids will not be reunited with their parents, and they are up for adoption. The most desirable placement is a Caucasian baby girl. Nobody wants them over the age of 5. Nobody wants a boy. And if they're if they're African American, a Caucasian baby girl is 7 times more likely to be adopted than an African American boy over the age of 3. Now, I got nothing against little white girls. I've been one my entire life. But we ended up with Zion. We adopted him at 5. He is our African-American child. I'm Filipino. My husband is from Louisiana. Our son is Black. We look like the last 2 minutes from It's a Small World. And they spoke in that foster seminar about the importance of adopting older kids. There was a story about a girl who is going to college, straight A student, still wanted to be adopted. And, the usual reaction, everybody's like, why do you want to be adopted? And then the quote from the girl was, I am going off to college for the first time. I'm 18 years old. Don't you think that I want someplace to go home to at Thanksgiving, Christmas, or Arbor Day? Don't you think I would want a family to plant a tree with? And we all started projectile crying, and that's the importance. It's kind of like, my son, even though, and you adopted at 5, right? 5 years old.
Right.
And a lot of people, everybody wants a baby. And when we met our son for the very first time, I was like, that's a baby. When you're 5 years old, you still need your mommy. You still need your daddy, or 2 cute gay guys with a really cute house.
Put it down for 5
That is so fed up with me. Listen, you were fine with Elaine Stritch stumbling around backstage for years. I can't have a little glass of Pinot Grigio. It's not even the tough stuff.
Alec, did your celebrity friends think that you went to like a foreign country to adopt your child?
No, I mean, as a celebrity, I feel it's my duty to inform people that you don't have to go all the way to Africa to adopt a Black child. You could get them right here in the United States of America. I mean, people would always go, is he from Malawi? Is he from Rwanda? Is he from Nigeria? And I was like, no, he's from Compton. He's from just a couple blocks down that way by bus. The kids are out there. And you could adopt a kid at any age. Okay. At all ages are available. I remember in our foster adopt seminar, all the gay guys sat up front, right? They were all like Hermione Granger at Hogwarts. They were like, Wingardium Leviosa! Wingardium! So I remember when they were saying, about the safety inspection of their house, they said, you can't have any fountains on the property. And all the gay dads went, ooh! My point is, yes, all the people that were in our foster adopt seminar got the kids that they wanted. We got a 5-year-old. If you wanted a baby, people got a baby. If you wanted older kids, people who were like, I want a baby. That's the only thing. And then they met was that couple, honey? They met 3 kids that were in very ages, like 9, 12, and 17. And they ended up adopting those 3 kids. And they're the craziest, happiest family ever, because it's kind of like, there's a lot of prejudice when it comes to foster kids. Everybody's like as a queer person of color, I can take it. All right. I'm getting it, since I was a kid. I can take it. I'm tough stuff. But when children and youth are being discriminated against, I'm like, I can't. When you meet these kids, they're just kids. They're kids that need a place to stay. They're kids that need people who are going to be there for them. And I'm not saying it's for everybody. I always say that, like music, I'm going to use a music analogy.
I'll get it now. I'll get it.
So it has resonance with you. If it has resonance with you, the idea of taking in a foster kid or helping out a kid, then listen to that. Listen to your intuition. Macho guys like me call it a gut feeling. But if you're a woman, you would call it feminine intuition. There's something in you that says, I have to follow this path. Like you guys knew that your lovely daughter.
Yeah, he convinced me.
It took a while.
Right. But on your path to adoption, there was something in you saying, I should follow this. This is where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I never told you guys this, but after one of our foster adoption seminar classes, I just spontaneously started crying my eyes out, like the ugly Oprah cry, like, and my husband was like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I was like, this is really happening. Like, this is all, I said, I feel like this is already in motion. Like, no matter what we do or say, this is going to happen no matter what. There was an inevitability to us becoming a family. And now our son is 15, and I don't think I've seen him since his 13th birthday.
Oh, yeah. Forget it. You'll see him at 19, maybe, with a crazy neck tattoo.
I talk to him through the door, through an intercom. And if he's real nice, he lets me make him breakfast and buy him clothes.
Alec, someone almost choked. Stop crying. Takari almost choked in her food. She should not eat while watching this. Okay, wait, before you go, speaking
chew your food very carefully, folks. I tell my kid, if it's in bite-sized chunks, that could get caught in your esophagus.
You're a good parent.
That applies to a lot of things, by the way.
Keep drinking. So talk for 2 seconds about being a parent. I want to know if you're raising your son like your mother raised you. Please talk about when you saw The Exorcist and the difference having a Filipino parent and how certain parents comfort and how I'm obsessed.
I was raised in a very religious family. I was raised in a Filipino Catholic family. Filipinos don't just believe in God. They believe in everything. They believe in vampires, leprechauns, Bigfoot. The only thing they don't believe in is paying retail. So like the Filipinos, The Exorcist is a documentary. Like they, any sensible parent, and the movie freaked me out. I couldn't sleep for months. Now, any sensible parent would have said, it's just a movie with special effects. No one gets possessed by the devil. My parents would say, that happened to your Auntie Gail. She used to levitate and speak in tongues, and we knew it was the devil because the room would get so cold. They tell me things like that, you guys, and then they would say, all right, now, go to sleep. And today. Look at this haircut. Look at my COVID. I look like a lesbian superhero. I'm Felix woman.
How did you do that?
Speaking of lesbian superheroes,
Saturday night at 9 p.m. Beth, don't I look like a Cuban bartender that you slept with in Miami?
Oh, yes.
Don't you look like the one who got a little needy but was really good in bed? She was really needy. She called you way too much.
Oh, yeah.
But she was dynamite in the sack.
I gotta go. Alec.
All right, here, real quick. Oh, geez, now I've totally screwed it up. You guys.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing. You inspired me. I'm going to be earnest and serious for just a moment. You inspired me to do good. On Thursdays and Fridays on my Instagram, Thursdays at 6 p.m. California time, I have Gay Dad Happy Hour. On Friday, I have a Instagram live talk show called Girl Friday. And you can find me at Alec Mapa on Instagram. I run the show for an hour. And I collect tips through a link in my bio that go to feeding COVID nurses in New York City and on the East Coast. We fed 200 nurses in Livingston, New Jersey last week. I just want to show you a picture of the nurses getting the food because this made me ugly cry. Can you? Oh, shoot.
Move it over.
Oh,
wow.
The nurses can't bring in their own lunch boxes because it risks further contamination. And I talked to one nurse who said, literally, when my break time comes along, I don't have the energy to microwave a Hot Pocket. So when the food arrives, they are just like, oh, thank you. It gives them the spirit and the strength to finish their shift. And it reminds people that people remember them and they're thinking about them. So if you want to join me on Instagram Live, 1 p.m. California time, tomorrow afternoon, my guests will be Molly Shannon, Kathy Griffin, Mike Ruiz, that really hot photographer from Drag Race, and Jake Shears from the Scissor Sisters.
Whoa!
Right? He's got it going on.
That face is stop. I'm impressed. All right, Alec,
You guys like have been asking all of your friends to come on, and has anybody said like, no, I really don't feel like it?
No. I mean, we've avoided some alcoholics, but then we decided to give you a chance tonight, and we're impressed.
You're hurting people.
Alec, we gotta go.
Yeah,
All right,
I love you, Seth. If I had like, elbow meningitis, would you still make fun of me? Ha, it's funny. Alec has a disease.
It's not a disease. You're just goodbye, Alec.
Bye,
Thank
Alec.
you, as usual.
Will you have me on again? Can I come back? Please,
Yes.
I don't want to be needy, but I am. It's true. I'm a bottomless pit of need, aching to be loved.
No, we love you,
I
Alec.
love you. You come back.
Sad and
I love you
Jamie.
so much. Bye.
Bye. We love our Alec. He's done so many of these shows for us.
So Beth Malone, I think this is her time, Seth.
Oh,
So come
perfect.
on.
All right. Speaking of sassy lesbian superheroes, Beth Malone.
How much do I love Alec Mapa, though?
We love him.
We love
And
him.
P.S. You Gotta Believe loves you. We were like, who should we book in this concert? And they were like, you have to have Beth Malone. Like they picked everyone to be in this concert because we were like, we have 2 shows a day. You guys pick them. So You Gotta Believe is obsessed with you. I love that you created a song for today. So you want to say why you're singing it?
Super late since Alec Mapa sucked up all our time.
No, we have plenty of time.
We do? Okay. We should sing it though, right?
Oh yeah, no, I thought you were gonna say why you're singing.
No. Why I'm singing it? Oh, I just thought "You Will Be Found" would be the perfect song for this organization because there are people out there who want to be found, and there are people out there wanting to find them, and they just need to like find each other. So this song is just something that I have never sung before, and so here we go.
Yes, Queen.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall? No one. Well, let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. When you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. 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 You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. Out of the shadows, morning is breaking, and all is new. All is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. And comes crashing through. When you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. Yay, I did it! I can't hear you. Now you're back.
Yay!
Great.
David Dyer did the arrangement. There he is.
Oh, so great. And you're in Colorado right now, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Beth, we love you. You Gotta Believe loves you. I was testing a note on my piano.
Of course they had to do
It
that.
was a C. Still got it.
You know, I had it higher, and I was like, why though? Why?
Oh my God, it was amazing.
No need.
And as Mark says, Beth Malone is the best.
Love.
Thank you, Bethy. We'll have you back again as usual.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Beth.
If you love Beth Malone in Fun Home or on this, please, YouGottaBelieve.org or text donate to
718-865-2425.
It really helps the organization. They're a small organization. It's very mom and pop. And what's amazing about the organization, actually, well, we're going to talk.
Well, yeah, our next guest is one of the reasons that makes You Gotta Believe special is that they have youth advocates that speak at their parenting classes and are there for events like this. And so one of them is next. He's here, right?
Yep, Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Hi, Ricardo.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. How you doing?
Hi, Ricardo.
Oh, I have.
How are you?
That looks like I love your pictures on the back of your wall. We know that you're.
Yeah.
I love that.
My wife put them up, just to have some decorations. Yeah, see the boys.
Oh, they are.
Oh, I remember them from the last
'Cause
concert.
we saw you and we saw all of you, your whole family.
Yeah, up on stage. Yep.
Tell everybody just quickly, if you can, that are watching, what was your life like before you found your forever family? What was it like when you were younger?
Okay, so I entered foster care when I was pretty young, and before I found my family, I was living in an RTC, and I lived there for about 2.5 years. And while I was there, I got into trouble a lot. I adapted to my surroundings mostly. So, I used to sell cigarettes and things like that while I was there. And it was pretty rough. Sometimes, some other things would be sold on campus, just to be able to get by, because, the food was pretty bad majority of the time, or you just wasn't able to get some of the things that you needed, rather if it was a new pair of shoes or just some comfortable clothing.
It was a group home, right?
Yeah, it was a group home. It was an RTC. It's called the Residential Treatment Center, where they send kids who don't have a home, or kids who just can't be managed, as what they say, in the community. Youth who can't function in a normal foster home setting, is what they would say. So got sent to an RTC. But the main reason why I was sent to the RTC is because I was incarcerated for basically taking a fall for someone. I didn't want to be a snitch, as what they say. So I decided to take the fall and basically just, I guess, develop a rep for myself, right, with my friends. So life was pretty rough. It was kind of difficult. And it was just something that I just every day dreamed that would change one day. I didn't know when it would change. I didn't know when it would get better. I had no idea when this was going to turn good. It was just like an endless road of just negativity.
How did you hook up with finally finding a family?
So You Gotta Believe came on campus maybe like 1.5 years or so, or 2 years after I was already there. I was there for about 2.5. So You Gotta Believe came to campus, and they were helping youth connect with family. And in the beginning, no one was listening to anything that You Gotta Believe had to say. No one was paying attention to anything that You Gotta Believe was offering, until they started offering us $50 to $25 stipends. And then it was like a jackpot. It was like, what? I need to hear what these people are saying. But that was just that was just what grabbed our attention. Now, there was more to it. There was a lot more behind the scenes, which was kids were going home on the weekends. There were families being connected. And that's when we all just began to get excited and actually began to think to ourselves, there is a future here, right? So my mom was my social worker. She was actually my social worker. And You Gotta Believe came on campus right on time because I was almost getting ready to leave campus. I was getting close to the age of aging out. And You Gotta Believe connected me with my social worker to become my mom. She did the math class training classes through You Gotta Believe. And it was like a meant to be kind of thing. Because had You Gotta Believe not come on campus when they did, I would have not been connected to a family.
How old were you?
I was 17 and a half, and I moved in when I was about 18 years old. And I lived home until I was about 24, and I left by choice.
But did it make it, a lot of people would say you're 18, didn't you want to be in your own? Why did you want to go with your new mom? Why was that special? Why was that important to you, and how did it help you?
So in the beginning, it was kind of hard. It was difficult because I wasn't used to people constantly checking up on me and making sure that I was okay. I wasn't used to that. But it did help me because it helped me in a lot of ways because it gave me stability. It gave me a chance to be able to heal from a lot of traumas that I've gone through in my life. It gave me the chance to understand what it is to be loved and, for you, who you are and what you're doing and as a person rather than people pleasing to get some sort of comfort somewhere. So that, having a family really, really made an extremely big impact on my life because they always made sure that I was okay. And it was a good thing. And it was hard in the beginning, it wasn't something that I could actually, trust. And then once I finally began to trust the family and trust my mom, my life actually got on track and changed a lot. What I had to do was trust, I guess, trust the process, they say.
And
so
what's like
that? It worked.
What's it like now for you, life? What's life like now?
So life now, thank God for my family, So life now, I'm married with 2 children, I have twin boys, and it's pretty stable. I have family support. I even kind of made some time for myself to kind of get reconnected with my biological family, little by little, and had it not been for the family that I have, I wouldn't have cared or even forgiven my family for doing the things that happened when I was much younger. So they've given me a level of compassion that, I was able to move on from a lot of things. So like now life is pretty stable. I'm able to really, think about things and see things for what they are rather than always being scared and afraid and not wanting to step into any room unless I had 5 people with me. Like, just always scared, I'm no longer afraid, and being connected to a family, I feel it's made a very strong generational impact on myself because a lot of what I learned from my family, I'm passing on to my children.
Thank you, Ricardo. That's a great story. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us.
Yes, everyone is saying hello to you in the comments, as you can see.
Oh, nice.
Everybody knows you.
Yeah, you got a fan on here, Ricardo.
Yes.
Hi, thank you. That's
Thank you,
cool.
Ricardo. Great to see you again.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you at the
I'm sure we'll
next
see you
one.
soon.
Say hi to your
Thank
wife, trouble kids.
Yeah, take care.
This is so fun. So don't forget, guys, you can help people like Ricardo. I mean, his life would have gone a totally different way, and You Gotta Believe stepped in and they helped. Just text donate whatever you can,
That's
or just
right.
go to YouGottaBelieve.org.
That's right.
We're gonna bring in
Our
another
good
Broadway
friend.
singer.
Yes.
A fabulous Broadway singing friend.
Kerry Butler.
We started on Broadway together. We were kids together, but somehow she's 30 years younger than I am now. Hi, Kerry.
Hello. I love
Good
you
to see
guys
you.
are doing this. I say this to you all the time. Wait, why am I so far over? This way, okay.
Always reverse.
Oh, beautiful. Like you guys are just the best. I'm sitting backstage like almost crying. Like it's just so sweet. I know. I was like, stop it, Kerry. You gotta sing.
So great to see you. And by the way, people that are watching, Kerry Butler's been in a million Broadway shows, most recently Beetlejuice. She's on hiatus now, as we say. And you have 2 adorable children. You're getting older. You want to tell your story about your lovely daughters?
Sure. My daughters are adopted from Ethiopia. I did go through the foster care training because I have a real heart for foster care. And but there's just different pros and cons to both situations. And so we ended up going from Ethiopia, my daughters are from, and I always felt in my heart that I was meant to adopt, and I always knew it. My husband is like you, Seth, where he needed a little bit more convincing. And I don't know if I told you the story before, but like, I'm religious, but I have gay pastors, just putting that out there before I turn anyone off. And so we were praying about whether we should adopt, and he was on the fence. And so then we were like, all right, let's play around. We'll open our Bible. We open our Bible to the passage, whoever welcomes a child in my name welcomes me. And he's like, well, you just probably turn to that all the time. And then the same thing happened the second time we adopted. So it was like we had a sign that we were meant to adopt.
He's such a good dad. It's so funny to think there was any reservation.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, I know, he's the best dad ever. And like once he made the decision, was like, fully on board.
Oh my God, he's amazing. And your kids are so great. This song is off your CD, Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust. But is there a relevance to why you're singing it besides your CD is amazing?
Yeah. So this is the song that I would sing to both my daughters, mostly my first daughter, whenever I was tucking her in at night. And I actually, on the recording, I was holding her in my arms while I was singing it.
Oh, wait, Kerry, I literally put in a piano break because I'm like, I'm going to show all these amazing photos. I realized I don't have any photos, so this is going to be like a weird piano break for no reason. So
Well,
I guess
I think I'm going to be singing through it. I think when I rehearsed it, I was like singing through it, so I don't think there will be a break. We'll see.
Okay. All right, so this is the lovely Kerry Butler, Broadway star, adopted mother, and youthful person.
Baby mine, don't you cry. Baby mine, dry your eye. Rest your head, clever, touch my heart, never depart, baby of mine. Little one, when you play, don't you mind what they say. Let your eyes sparkle and shine, never a tear, baby of mine. If they knew, sweet little you, they'd end up loving you too. All those same people who scold you, what they'd give just for the right to hold you. From your head down to your toes, you're not much, goodness knows, but you're so precious to me, sweet as can be, baby of mine. If they knew, sweet little you, they'd end up loving you too. All those same people who scold you, what they'd give just for the right to hold you. From your head down to your toes, you're not much, goodness knows, but you're so precious to me, sweet as can be, baby of mine.
Kara, it's so great. It's so soothing. All I want to do is go to sleep, but we got more show. That was a lovely lullaby. All right, this is like your fourth appearance on Stars in the House. You'll be back as usual. Say hi to the lovely daughters and to Joey.
Okay, thank you for doing this. Love you guys.
Thanks,
Love you
Kerry.
too.
You're
Thanks,
the best.
Kerry.
Too much for my heart. I just love it. Okay, we're gonna bring on Mary Keane.
That's right, the executive director of You Gotta Believe.
The ED. By the way, the lighting was good for 2 minutes, and now it's literally I'm gray with a red rim. Never been uglier. Hey, Mary Keane.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for this. It's been fabulous. I can't believe Beth Malone wrote a song for us. That just blew me away.
You didn't write a song, but that's
She
from
learned it.
Dear Evan Hansen. She learned it.
Okay, for the performance, it was just so, everything's been so perfect
Well,
already.
you're not a Broadway gal, so any song from Broadway sounds like someone wrote it on the spot. But it's all good.
You're right. It all does.
How many children now is in your circle of children? What's happening now?
Who've lived under her roof, you mean?
Well, right now, how many children are you dealing with?
Oh, mine, or you got to believe?
Well, sort of yours, let's say.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, about 14. So, but they're not under my roof. No, I'm isolated alone.
How are you?
They're all isolated with their families and things like that. But everybody is really, this is super, super stressful for everybody. And for kids with the history of trauma, it's particularly challenging because it kicks up a lot of old stuff. So it's really been a lot of managing their trauma, worrying about what's going to happen, no end in sight. They're home working and they have their kids at home, just like everybody else, and the families that You Gotta Believe is working with, we're working with them more than ever, trying to stay in touch with them, make sure they're okay. The advocates are staying in touch with all of the youth. We speak to them weekly. We have YGB cafes twice a week in the morning and a social hour in the evenings, virtual, of course, but to stay, in much closer touch. The youth that we're working with also who've aged out, we're helping them. We're trying to help them financially. We're helping them collect their unemployment. Make sure they get their stimulus checks. We're getting them laptops sometimes, or just vouchers for food and things like that. Because they're totally alone. Again, you talked earlier about most kids, even those who had to leave their dorms, they had a home to go to. So they had, some. Everybody now that I know is gathering with family. And some people have gone across the country to go back to where their families are. And our kids they don't have that. And it's more pronounced than ever that the path that they're put on to go to college, do this, do that. You mentioned Destiny in the New York Times article. She did everything she was told to do.
Yeah.
This is the system said, do this, do that, and your life will work. Well, her life isn't working. It's totally fallen apart because
She's not a family.
Education is great. You do need an education, but you don't educate, without a family. I lived at home during all my college years. They were there. I would not have made it. I know I wouldn't have made it without them. And that everybody who sets these kids off on this path, they wouldn't do that to their kids. No, it wasn't done to them. They had their family. They probably still have their family. And as I say, now it's highlighted.
That this what it seems like this has done is highlighted all of the problems of our healthcare system. It's like amplified all of the inequalities, and these kids, I would say, are at the top of the list.
So some people, You Gotta Believe right now and still begin the process to find a youth that they can match with, even though we're doing all the social isolation.
Yeah, so we finished up a lot of people that we had to stop in-person trainings and stuff like that. So we finished them up. We're waiting to, I'm hesitant to start new people virtually, because this is not just a training thing. This is a very interpersonal kind of relationship we have with our families. So, for me, it really has to be in person. So we're trying to figure out when we can open up and when we can space and get a really large space, an auditorium or something, and train a small number of families again. So we'll do that. But I think, there's talk now about asking the governor for a moratorium. It's been done in some states, a moratorium on kids aging out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how long, should it be 60 days, 90 days, 100, and I just went off one day and I said, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you make it for 180 days. Their situation's not going to change after that. It's still going to be what we've been doing to them for years. We age them out to nothing. There's really nothing for them. And this is documented. They fall on their face, but it's our fault. Them to go out there and be on their own and do things without a family.
50% of those kids wind up homeless or in jail that age out.
Homeless, incarceration. It's a pipeline to all that adult welfare, incarceration. It just, they don't really have the capacity to be able to be on their own. Pat O'Brien, the founder of You Gotta Believe, he acknowledged he didn't achieve independent living, that's the term used, until he was 43, nor have most of us, you know. And even though we're on our own financially, we keep connected to our families. So, you know, you couldn't be any closer to your mom and James. I know it's the same thing. Yeah.
It's right down there.
Yes, I know. We need them as long as we can have them.
Let me ask you something, Mary. When we were at the last benefit that we did for you guys, Children's Village was there. Did you guys wind up connecting with Children's Village?
We are very connected with Children's Village. We connected, actually now we've been working with them for a year. They are a perfect partner for us. Jeremy Kahamban, the executive director, he actually, when he started his career, he was sort of mentored a little bit by Pat O'Brien in the importance of family, but he felt it inherently. And he's always been a huge family advocate. We've partnered with him on various federal projects since 2004 when he started. And he is the best advocate for family. He's clear that that's what kids need. They, you know, nothing less than that is enough. It's Band-Aids. And so we are continuing the partnership with him. We just did an event the other day with Children's Village to get money to continue to work with them. And it's just been a fabulous relationship. We're working at the residential treatment center, working with the kids that are there, and we're broadening our scope to work with some of their other residential programs. And the more, people call it hard to place kids. And I say, we don't like that term because they're really not hard to place. They're the most vulnerable kids, but you know, they're not. You make the effort, you can place them. You know, we've placed lots and lots of kids. Rico talked about, you know, that he was already in trouble when he met his mom. You know, that was no reason. He was adorable. They're all adorable.
I would have been hard to place. I was a nightmare as a teenager.
I was worse. I was worse, Seth. I was one of the, I could not understand why my parents kept me, but that's what parents do. You know, I would have gotten rid of me. I was obnoxious, but it's just, you know, it's just a phase. They, you know, kids just go through that and you just got to hang on to them.
All right, Mary,
we're going to for joining us. Of course, I know you're going to be backstage watching, but we want to bring on our next guest.
Thank you, Mary.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you for doing this.
So I wanted to say quickly, but everybody out there, the difference with You Gotta Believe and other organizations is once you are matched with the youth, you're forever connected. You Gotta Believe.
That's right.
So at midnight, your kid is acting up. You call You Gotta Believe. Be like, I don't know what's going on. 3 years later, you're like, do I send my kid to college, vocational school? You Gotta Believe is always there for you. You can call any time of day.
You know what I just realized? Like they talk a lot. You Gotta Believe about there's adoption, you know, legal adoption. Like you're in the process of legally adopting Julie.
Yeah.
And then there's moral adoption, where you take this child responsibility for life. And really, I think that You Gotta Believe does that for the parents. It's almost as if they have a moral adoption of the parents and take care of them.
They will always help you.
So let's bring on.
All right, let's bring on our star friend, who's brilliantly hilarious, brilliant writer, brilliant actress, and a mom, Nia Vardalos.
Hi. Hi, everybody. How are you?
So great to see you. I know that you're momming out tonight, so I want to make this quick. Don't you have mom?
Hold on. I think. Hold on. You keep talking.
So just for 2 seconds, talk about your story with your daughter.
Because look what we have on our bookshelf right here.
You're so nice to have my book. Thank you. Okay, so I tried to become a parent for over 10 years. I did a fundraiser for adoption, and I met social workers who I call super pretty angels. And they told me about something I didn't know, which is that we have 500,000 kids in American foster care, 350,000 are legally emancipated, and some people do not want what is called, as you know, what You Gotta Believe does, an older child. And I thought, well, that's insane. You go toward the person. It's like a blind date saying, I won't date someone with brown hair. That's crazy. You just have to be open. So I was completely open, and the woman put her hand on my hand and said, you will be a mother within the year. Wow. And 9 months later, we got a call, and they said there is a little girl. She's almost 3 years old. She's living in American foster care, And I said, when can I meet her? And they said, tomorrow. And so my book is called Instant Mom because I had 14 hours notice, and I am the mother now of a 15-year-old girl.
I guess I want people to know, like, it's not like, a lot of people think, oh, the child's gonna be so happy to finally have a mom. It's very up and down. And it's like being a real parent. It's not like the child is forever like, thank you for saving me. It's like being a real mom. Like, there's been hardships too, right?
Absolutely. Look, I don't sugarcoat it in the book. I'm very candid about what happened. I got punched. I got kicked. It's like, that's what a child should do when you suddenly become their parent. But the same way that, do you remember biologically that we would say to our parents, I wish you never had me.
Right.
It's parenting is parenting. And if you sign up for it, just, gird your loins.
Just wear a dance belt. So talk right now, because I love that you're teaming up with your daughter to do kind of social justice stuff in this pandemic. What are you guys doing together?
Oh, we have been raising money. We work with BigSunday.org, which is a nonprofit here in Los Angeles, and we work with Frontline Foods. And we get to go to restaurants. Well, first of all, people donate, and then that money goes directly to support local restaurants. And then we get to go make the food, masks, gloves, we're basically in a hazmat suit. And then we deliver the food to local hospitals. And I'm going to tell you something. I have met Elton John. You know what I mean? I have had dinner with the Queen of England. And there is nothing that I have experienced like standing outside of a hospital and seeing doctors and nurses come out toward us to say thank you to us for the meals. And I'm like, you're a hero. You're a hero. It's amazing.
Here, look at these amazing photos. Dinner's provided by, oh my gosh, Sean and Scotty.
And Helen Hunt and Jane Fonda, and crafted in LA. And yeah, it's been people, and the cast of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. That's my real daughter. Yeah. We could fit 150 meals into my car, like any Greek.
Something's never changed. All right, Nia, we so love having you here. We're going to have you here when we do our live event again, actually on stage. But I love that you got to come tonight. Thank you. The book is Instant Mom. And so just finally, the end of the story is you recommend getting a child no matter what the age is. It worked out for you?
I say it doesn't matter if your child is from Mars. Go get your child. Go find your child. By the way, the reason that I'm here is because I donate all the proceeds to get kids adopted. I met the people at You Gotta Believe, and my daughter chose You Gotta Believe as one of the places that we donate the money to. And she sits on my lap when she was little, and we would look through the website, and she would see teens in their family having dinner, and she'd say, did we get him adopted?
Aww.
Come on.
Oh, God, it's so great. All right, Nia, we love you. Can't wait to see you again. Bye, girl.
Right. Love you back. Mwah. Bye.
Bye. Adorable. So sweet.
All right. I think we have someone who is going to have a fundraiser for You Gotta Believe in March. And so this is his way of joining us.
One of my favorite young singers ever, just brilliant himself, Mr. Luke Islam. Hi, Islam.
Thank you for having me.
Luke, we love you. If you recognize Luke, because he was one of the stars of America's Got Talent. He basically, let's just say he won. In my eyes, he won. I don't want to talk about anything else. He's from Long Island. Don't hold it against him. So am I. Move the hell out.
Hey, Luke, what did you have the fundraiser in March, or you were going to?
Yes. No, we were actually lucky enough to have it in one of the last shows at Green Room, and yeah, we ended up having it. We ended
Before You Gotta Believe.
Yes.
Why did you choose You Gotta Believe?
So my vocal coach, Brooke, she and I had a concert in December for You Gotta Believe, on a Facebook Live, and then me and Kaylee we wanted to do something for charity, and I told her about it because it is not as it's not like Broadway shows donate after to so I wanted to do something for them, and instead, and I said to Kaylee, why don't we do this? I told her about it, and so we decided on that, and we're trying to raise even more money for them. Well, I am, because I have this thing called Cameo, and the money from that is gonna go to them still. So
I love that you're here. I'm gonna put that up right now. I wanted to say something. So Luke, it's not like you're not adopted. It's just something that you believe in, right?
Oh no, I'm not adopted.
I love it. You're just supporting it. So
Love
Luke is
that.
talking about Cameo.com, where you can be like, oh my God, I love Luke from America's Got Talent. You write him something, you go, Luke, can you please sing some of She Used to Be Mine for my grandmother who loves the song? And then you videotape yourself, and the money that you pay for that video, like 10, 20, 30 bucks, whatever, goes to You Gotta Believe. I love that. So Cameo.com, amazing. All right, so I saw you sing this song online. I asked you to sing it tonight. I think it's very relevant because it's about kids that want to find homes, not be adopted or not, but just find a loving home. And I played the piano part. I hope is the piano part okay? Is it the right tempo?
Yeah, it's really good. It's like the key that I sang it in, and it works really well.
Okay. All right, Luke. This is dedicated to all the kids out there and all the parents that want to bring some kids home. Hit it, Luke.
God on high, hear my prayer in my need. You have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest, rest. Bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. He's like the sun I might have known. If God had granted me a son, the summers die one by one. How soon they fly, all and I know he will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he's only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be, let him. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him
Luke, you're so musical. I can't take it. Wait, how old are you? Wait, you're 41 or 42?
I'm 13.
Okay, I've had it. You're so musical. It's such a gift. It's so moving to me. All right, we love you. You got to come back as usual.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your talent and your kind soul. He's just the best. I mean, the musicality, it just makes me cry. It's so beautiful. God, he's so good. Okay.
Our next guest is the Assemblywoman who is the chair of, hold on, I want to make sure I get this right, the Children and Families Committee. Well, that seems very appropriate.
Yes, it's Alan Jaffe.
That's right. Let's see
So the Wi-Fi's been a little shaky.
The Wi-Fi's a little bit shaky. We're gonna.
So now it's just a black screen.
Of course, it was.
It was
really
good like 2
before.
seconds ago. We could see her. Alan Jaffe, we're gonna wait till we see you back on the screen. We're gonna bring you back.
Or sign out and sign back.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe we want to sign out and sign. Oh, there you are.
Hold on.
Hey, Ellen.
Hey.
Can you hear us? Uh-oh. Can you hear us, Ellen? I can't tell if you're frozen or glaring in fury. All right, Ellen. All right, girl, we're gonna bring you back. We're gonna try again. Assemblywoman, can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
Well, cut. Okay, we're gonna look down there. If we see you again, we're gonna bring you back.
Oh, hold on. Let's try one more time, Seth.
Alan, can you hear us, by the way?
Rosie.
I think she's smiling. Hi, Assemblywoman.
I don't know if she can hear. So
I think she can hear.
You know what? Let's go. Well, and she fell off. Well, you know what? We appreciate the effort.
We do appreciate the effort.
It's live, folks.
She's been there the whole time waiting to go on.
Oh my God.
Willie Garson is laughing.
It's like it's one of those things of like, God, if only earlier. But that's what happens.
Okay.
So I say we bring on Rosie Williams.
Yes, Rosie's waiting too.
Rosie,
so this is
you get ready.
This is a you gotta believe advocate, meaning that what we'll tell you what an advocate is. Rosie Williams, we see you all the time. We're so happy that you are back. I think you muted yourself, which is very good.
Rosie.
Hi, Rosie.
Hi, guys.
So, Rosie, when they say that you're an advocate, what does that mean? Did you begin?
Wait a minute. I just read this. She got an upgrade. She's ambassador at large. So that's what I want to find out. There's a youth advocate, and then there's a youth advocate ambassador at large. What the hell is that? And is it more money for you?
I think that's a title that Mary gave me. I feel like I moved up for being an advocate. I love to support the youth that's coming out the system. I came from the system myself. And any way I can always help a youth get into a family, get some unconditional commitment, I think that will be the job that I will always have in my life.
You have a shout out from Ricardo. It's Rosie. Just
Hey,
so you know.
Ricardo.
Hey, Rosie. So, Rosie, so what it is that so you were placed with a family through You Gotta Believe. Is that what happened?
Yes.
And then they were like, hey, we want you to manipulate other youth so that they realize that. You know, by the way, a lot of people go like, well, wouldn't every youth want a family? But what I've heard is that a lot of times youth goes from family to family to get rejected, and they're sort of like, I'm through with families. Is that what a lot of youth are feeling, and that's why you have to sort of talk to them?
Yes, and I was one of those youth. We are called at-risk children in the foster care system. We get a certain age, and they kind of don't pay attention to us. Around 14, they start to ask you, do you want to be adopted, or do you want an apartment? Any 14-year-old, 16-year-old would say they want an apartment, right?
I want an apartment.
Yes. Spending so much time in the system put my mindset in a way where family wasn't right. It was a bad meaning to it, where family would give up on you and you would have to do everything by yourself. When I got what You Gotta Believe, they changed my mind. They kind of put me through classes. I met wonderful people like you guys. And I started to believe that, you know, a family can be for me. I can be in a family and still be loved at 19.
And how long have you been with your family at this point?
I met my family at 19. I'm 27 now, and I'm still with my family.
So, Rosie, so how have you been keeping in touch with youth and like doing your role at You Gotta Believe during all this?
Well, a lot of times my mom, she still works with the child welfare system. So anytime she have cases and her kids needs an advocate and somebody just to talk to, a support system, I'm always there. Mary always hit me up and asks me different things, advice. Can I talk to different kids? I don't think this will ever leave my life. I grew up in the system. I believe that every kid should have a family. Every kid should have a support system. That's the only way that they will make it in life is with help. And a lot of times we don't want to ask for help.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about these kids that are quote unquote at risk? Like, what would you like to clear up?
Well, yes, we have attitudes, and yes, we teenagers, we've been through a lot of trauma, and that's why we have this wall up that protects ourselves. But as soon as you knock the wall down, we're a regular kid. We're about 5 years old in a 16-year-old body, and all we need is some love.
Oh, that's so well said. That wasn't a planned question or answer. I just love it. Rosie, it's so great seeing you. We love seeing you. You got a Gretchen saying, hey, Rosie, bingo, she loves you.
Hi, Gretchen.
All right, well, I'm so glad that you're doing well. And, you know, we have a 19-year-old. We think COVID-19 has been kind of the hardest on teenagers because everyone kind of wants to begin their life and suddenly they're stuck. Has it been hard for people your age right now? You're 27, but still for young people?
Yeah, some of my friends are out on the streets. Some of my friends went to college in the dorms, and because of the pandemic, they are out in the streets. There's no more dorms. There's no more houses. A lot of caseworkers are off. The child welfare system don't really know how to deal with the pandemic and deal with the trauma and deal with the homes. So I feel like it's a lot on a lot of people's plate where they have to, step up and kind of ask these youth or give these youth some support where they are in the system, and the system should be there for them.
Hey, Rosie, before you go, there's a question.
Yeah, I want to ask this. Yeah.
I'd love for you to answer this.
This is my friend Christopher. I haven't seen since we were kids. Hi, Christopher.
What can people who can't foster or adopt do to offer support or help? What would you say?
I would say donate to an agency like You Gotta Believe, to a nonprofit. I would say spread the word. If you're talking to a friend, if you know that your friend can do this job, go to the classes and learn about it. I think it's all from word of mouth. That's how it spreads, and that's how people go out there and actually want to help the foster care system.
So basically, just go to yougotabelieve.org, and there'll be information. Because even if you can't donate, they need help. So I love that, Christopher. Go to yougotabelieve.org. Rosie, so great seeing you as usual. We'll see you in the next one.
Rosie.
Always
Bye, guys. Thank you.
We want to just show this fun clip. Our last event.
One in February.
Yeah, we had this wonderful performer named Anika
Gibson.
And her story was she had a lot of trauma with a bad foster family that she was with. And basically she really got through this horrible experience with this bad foster family. We're going to show you this one moment that we had, then we're going to talk about more. But let's talk about the show that she saw. What's very just important, kind of just relates to Stars in the House, is that the arts are so important. If you don't expose children to the arts, they have no idea that the arts means something to them because they've never been exposed to it. So all this cutting of the arts that keeps happening, it's going to backfire on the next generation. So it's very important to expose children to the arts, and this is how it paid off. So where is that story?
It should be that one right there.
Is it this one?
So.
Okay.
Try it.
So how old were you when they adopted you?
So they adopted me in March.
Sorry, before we forget, it also just shows that adopting an older kid pays off because, as you'll hear, she was not a little 6-year-old girl when she finally got adopted.
So how old were you when they adopted you?
So they adopted me on March 22nd, 2013. I was 22 years old. When I was in about 9th grade, my theater class took a trip to the Boston Opera House, and we saw Wicked. It was the very first professional show I ever saw, and I said, I want to do that. That is exactly what I want to do. That production changed my life forever because I'm on Broadway today because I saw that show.
Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Okay, we love that. So Tanika, the end of the story is she got into this specialized school. They were about to basically kick her out because her foster mother had passed away and she was going to have to go to this other school and leave. And the head of the school said, I will take care of you. I'll be your, I won't officially adopt you because they thought it would actually hurt her scholarship. But that the head of the school took her in, raised her until she was 22 and then officially adopted her. And what was very beautiful, I remember at her adoption, she said that her mom gave her a present for every year if she'd been her mom. So she gave her
from the beginning.
From 1 year. She gave her
an appropriate gift for when she was born. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like she gave dolls, like for every year that she would have given if she'd been her mom. It's so beautiful. And Tanika, she's got this gorgeous voice, and she's always been compared to Audrey McDonald because of her beautiful voice. And we said, oh, it'd be so great if you would sing a song from Ragtime. So we basically surprised her with Brian Stokes Mitchell.
So I sound checked with Tanika, and so she actually met Stokes on stage
during this performance. And she idolized him, and they got to sing together for the first time at the You Gotta Believe fundraiser.
Let's not rehearse it. I want Tanika to sing it with Stokes for the first time right now. They've never met.
We've had a lot of great moments in our 6 concerts, but that will probably always remain as one of my favorites.
Oh, it's just kitty cat. That's Romeo. Okay, so look, let's bring on another beautiful, beautiful singer. Please welcome Willie Garson.
You fooled me.
You fooled me too. I'm just an assemblywoman.
Oh, Willie, she keeps trying to come on. We see her face pop off.
It's just no Wi-Fi.
It's like we're trying.
Willie,
I understand. You're doing your best. It's good to see you guys again.
We had Willie for the White Collar Reunion, and you're at the live You Gotta Believe event. Talk to people why You Gotta Believe. I mean, why you relate to this organization.
Well, I adopted my son old. He was 8 years old when we finalized the adoption. And I wanted an older child. And it took a long time, and then I found him, and now he's elderly. He's in a nursing home.
What is he, 20?
No, he's 18. Nathan, come say hello.
Nathan.
Oh, that's right. Because when you came, Nathan couldn't come, right? When you.
That's right. He was in school, but now no one's in school.
Hi, Nathan.
Which side are you on?
Whichever side.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Nathan, I don't know if you heard like Rosie just speak, but she was like talking about how, kids that are in foster care don't necessarily want to be adopted. Like, was that something you thought you wanted or not?
To be honest, I wasn't thinking about much. But I know as a foster kid that I definitely didn't want to keep moving houses.
How many
and what was that?
How many foster homes did you live in by the age of 8?
About 7.
It was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
One was very short.
A few of them were very short, being that I was in the foster care system from 3 to 7. And so, 7 homes in 4 years, it's a lot. So I don't know. I think as soon as I was able to cling on to something and someone, who loved me unconditionally and cared for me, it was very different. And I realized that as soon as I turned 8 and had lived with him for, 3 months.
Wow. What's the most fun thing about having Willie as your dad?
Probably the traveling. We travel everywhere.
That's probably what Julie would say.
We just traveled here. We drove from Los Angeles to our home in New Orleans over the last 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're in New Orleans.
How was that?
Whoa.
Yeah, we're at our New Orleans house right now.
Wow.
Oh,
It was.
Wow, I didn't know you
It
were
was a
down
long
there.
trip.
I love it down there. I do shows there all the time. I'm there every year. I can't believe I didn't know that.
I know my nephew and his husband are having dinner with us outside, and he's obsessed with you. My nephew's obsessed with you, but I can't bring him the computer because we have to stay far away.
Well, tell him I say namaste. I say hey. So Willie, the end of the story is: do you recommend for people out there possibly considering getting an older kid? Do you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every family has their own situation, but for me, it was a perfect situation. I'm a single father, traveling all the time for work. It wouldn't be totally responsible for me to have an infant. So that was part of the thinking behind it, was me trying to care for an infant when I have to work to make a living and travel. So I was very interested in an older kid, and I took the time that was needed to find that kid. And I knew the moment I saw, as you guys know, I've told this story to you before. The moment I saw Nathan, literally saw him, it was like, that's my kid. Like I knew immediately that's my son.
Because he was wearing a white collar shirt, and you knew that he'd be a fan.
Yes. It was white collar shirt, but made by Gucci. So it all worked out perfectly.
It's so shallow.
Gosh.
All right, Willie, we love having you. Nathan, I love having your perspective too.
Nice to see you.
I hope I'll be back in New Orleans this year, and I'll get to hopefully see you down there.
Please do, and I'll have my nephew come. And And then I can't wait to be with you guys in person again. I love being with you guys. So
what's your nephew's name?
Mike.
Well, tell Mike I say brava. And so nice seeing you guys. Peace out. Have a great dinner.
Bye. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. So sweet. Oh, so fun to see all these old friends. It's like old home week. So don't forget, Johnny, let me just ask Mary just quickly one more thing. So Mary, just quickly, what is your advice? What's your advice since you run You Gotta Believe? If people, can't adopt, they can't foster, they want to support, they're not made of money, how can they help you guys?
So actually, Rosie touched on a lot of things. Spread the word about us. Talk to people. Find, there are a lot of people who, can do this, who don't think they can. Find out about it. And don't be so scared. We invite people into our classes just to learn. I say all the time, you don't get a kid the first time you come to class. We're going to figure out if it's for you. You're going to figure out if it's for you, but at least cross it off your list. And you'll get to meet kids, at our events. We have picnics, we have game nights where you get to actually meet kids. And we've had people come in, people don't always know what they want. They think they want one thing and then they wind up with another. I remember we have a couple who came into my class, a lesbian couple, who wanted a toddler. That's what they told me when they came. And so, I would talk about teenagers all the time and they would always give me these dirty looks. So I just, look, the toddler's going to be a teenager eventually anyway. So, you might as well be prepared. Listen to me. So and they came to our events and they were at a picnic, in fact, and they met a 16-year-old and they were playing basketball with him. And that's who they went home with.
I love these stories.
It happens a lot. Again, people come in with one thing in mind and then they see or meet a kid and it totally transforms. They just fall in love with that kid. All of the kids are so precious. They are so absolutely, genuinely beautiful inside. And they've just been hurt. Badly hurt.
And don't feel bad. This is Gretchen. Small donations, if you can give $5, a lot of people want it. You just text it.
That's right. Text donate to 718.
They help a lot. They add up. Yep. We need whatever we can get to keep us afloat. We really don't get much government support at all, very little, and really self-funded, self-sufficient. And the work is so important. It's not acknowledged, I think, enough in terms of getting funded by the government. But this really, there's the Jim Casey Youth Foundation's studied, it cost a kid who ages out over a 10-year period, it costs society, the government, $750,000 in services for kids. That's between homeless services, adult welfare, the incarceration rate of these kids, the kids who have babies who then wind up on welfare or wind up with their kids going back into care.
Right.
Foster care becomes generational because they don't have the capacity to parent and to keep their kids. So, there's an enormous societal cost that can be avoided. Parents pick up those costs.
I love it. All these other things are Band-Aids, the mentors, all that stuff is Band-Aids. Finding a loving family doesn't cost much, and then it solves the problem. All right, Mary, as usual.
Absolutely.
We're going to, by the way, look at this. My friend has a gay parent magazine called Gay Parent Magazine. 1978. Please look it up. She's helped so many. I love that.
I love it.
We're gay parents. All right, we're going to finalize this show by bringing on our good pal, Ms. Anika Larsen. Hi, Anika.
Yay! How are you?
So we have now Anika, Broadway star, Tony nominee, coming to Broadway and Almost Famous, hopefully. But more importantly, she's our director of Stars in the House, Plays in the House, Teen Edition, every Sunday. Last Sunday's play was so fantastic. Every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, there's going to be a play geared towards youth, teenagers, basically, that Anika's directing. What's this coming Sunday's play?
It's called Do You Read Me? And what's exciting about this one is it must have been written like last month because it's literally written to be performed over like Zoom or StreamYard. Like it's meant to be done at a time like this. So it's about a NASA scientist talking to a bunch of ragtag people who are colonists on Mars. It's all video chats. It's very silly.
So great for kids. So that's going to be this Sunday, 2 p.m. Every Sunday, 2 p.m. Plays in the House, Teen Edition. Anika Larsen, you are not an adopted mom, but you have adoption a big part of your life, girl.
You're not an only child.
You're not an only child at all. Talk about it.
I don't even speak only child. I don't know what that means. No, I have 9. You can actually see I have 9 brothers and sisters, and 6 of them are adopted from different races and countries all over the world.
Here's one photo that we have.
Yes. That.
You're sort of you're not the youngest, are you, in that picture?
No, I'm the shorter. I'm the standing blonde. I'm the toddler blonde. Yes.
And then here's another cute picture in matching outfits.
Aww.
Yes.
So your parents had biological kids and they adopted. And wait, oh my God, I love this picture of you guys at the beach.
Oh, wow.
How did you stay in that pose?
I don't know. Because nowadays you can take 1,000 pictures with digital cameras, right? How did they ever get a good one we did, and we were never all smiling.
And I'm sure in these days you probably had baby oil on, right? Like, why put on suntan protection?
Just putting sunscreen on my sons this morning, telling them Mama burned all the time. You don't. It's like when they don't burn, they don't understand.
Right.
So you have to learn the hard way.
My favorite story about your family. Please talk about. Well, first of all, talk about the Clangadang. I'm obsessed with that.
The Clangadang is a giant iron triangle. It's but it's for on a ranch, you're calling the cow home or when all the cow hands home and so we would all have we'd fight over who got to clang the Clangadanga every night at the bottom of the stairs to call everybody to dinner.
Oh, so your mom wouldn't scream dinner, they would do Clangadanga.
Yeah, no, because there was, trying to keep the yelling down when there's 12 people in a house, it's all but impossible. So the Clangadanga was probably worse than a person yelling. It was really an awful sound, but somehow, it becomes like Pavlov's dog, right? Everybody hears it and you start salivating and it means dinner.
I guess speaking of salivating, my other favorite story is talk about, because some of these parents, they say they are going to have multiple children. How do you deal with multiple children on Halloween? My favorite.
What is your favorite story? So my parents, they special ordered an oversized bathtub. It was the size of a jacuzzi without the jets. And so every year at Halloween, they would take us and all of our candy and strip us all down naked and put us all into the tub. Certainly once my oldest brother hit puberty or even got close, probably it stopped then. But while we were all very little, we all got thrown in the tub with our Halloween candy, and then we would stuff our faces, and then they would literally just turn on the water, hose us down, and then Halloween was over. And I was in high school when I realized candy exists the day after Halloween. I didn't know you could keep eating it. Their friends had their bags they hid in their bedrooms and kept eating it till Thanksgiving.
And this, by the way, is said tub, right?
No, that is a couch tub. That I actually have right over here in my living room.
Oh my God, that's a couch tub.
That's because Audrey Hepburn had one like that in Breakfast at Tiffany's, and my mom saw it and thought it was awesome. And so she found the tub at a garage sale, and my grandfather ran a car dealership, and he took it to where they cut the cars and cut the side out, and she made a cushion. And now I get it.
Oh, that's such a great gift. All right, so you sing at all of our events. Well, I don't even know what you're singing tonight. What did you decide to sing?
I decided to sing a song called Count on Me. I think it sort of really embodies, honestly, what everybody's been talking about tonight.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, we'll be watching.
All right.
Is Freddie involved?
Freddie's coming. So my husband, Freddie.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Freddie.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for always playing. We love our Freddie.
All right, so Freddie's going to blow some solos on this.
All right.
If you ever find yourself lost in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. We find out what we're made of when we are called to help a friend in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing this song beside you. If you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. We find out what we're made of when we are called to help a friend in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. 1, 2, 3. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Yay! Look how sweet. 2 things.
That
First
was
of all,
beautiful.
that's on Sing You to Sleep, isn't it?
It is. Yep, my album. Sing You to
That's on
Sleep.
your new album.
Yeah.
And by the way, I agree, Toby, great song. So lovely at a trumpet. Beautiful performance and perfect song for the occasion. I totally agree.
Here's what I've learned since I've been married to Freddie is every song is better with trumpet. Honestly, I bring him everywhere now.
Yeah.
100%.
As you should.
Okay, so wait there. We're gonna close with the final video. We always close our
when we have it on the big stage.
Yeah, we always close with Let the Sunshine In. So we have a little video. This is from our first. I don't think Anika, you were in our first concert. I can't even remember anymore. It's 2015. But here's just a little video of our signature finale. To close out our show. Don't forget, guys, you can text donate to the numbers right there.
Right, you gotta believe.org or text donate to 718-865-2425.
Here's a little Let the Sunshine In to close us out.
That was our first one.
Oh, so great to see that. Okay, play our closing credits. So go wait, before we forget, tomorrow, so this is You Gotta Believe fundraiser. Keep going there to donate, YouGottaBelieve.org. Tomorrow we're back for the Actors Fund. 2 p.m. is a reunion of Crybaby. I love that show so much.
Musical.
James Snyder, Harriet Harris, Elizabeth Stanley, Chester Gregory, Ali Mozzie.
Yes.
And then tomorrow night, the men of Desperate Housewives. You know we're obsessed with that show.
That's
Just
right.
saying.
They're coming.
So
all right, so
I'll
you're gonna
close
play us
out.
out, or actually, wait a minute.
Oh yeah,
we've got
you
Freddie
guys
can do it.
Yeah, Freddie, play us out with some
Play us
trumpet
out
during the
Play us
credits.
out. Anything.
I mean,